I want to wrap things up here. We're going to have so much time to kind of unwind everything else that happened this season, do a full debrief on the 12-team college football playoff. But we have to talk about how unique and interesting it is to have rivals, hated rivals, primary rivals. We think it's the best rivalry in all of college football. Michigan and Ohio State won national championships in back-to-back seasons. Like, that is so strange. I know we've had it happen before, Auburn and Alabama. I think when Alabama, Auburn, Alabama in like 09, 10, and the 11 seasons. There's been back-to-back in basketball, college basketball as well. But like, it's so strange to me that you could be like at your absolute peak and like the rivals and their fan bases are devastated. And then like the exact opposite thing happens this year. It's just strange. And we're also in a world now where the Big Ten has won national championships in back-to-back seasons. The SEC was down, right? Or at least at the top. It was deep, but it didn't have elite teams this year. No SEC teams in the national championship game for 2 years in a row. But this was big for the Big Ten. They had a championship drought in all of the major sports, but notably football. And now you've got Michigan, and now you've got Ohio State. You've got Penn State reloading to bring everybody back for next year, which is how Michigan did it and how Ohio State did it. Veteran players that decided to come back. It's definitely an interesting moment in time for college football with the Big Ten winning back-to-back titles.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting moment too in terms of, you talked about the reloading aspect, and I'm
the way that they did it.
Yeah, the numbers of early entrants into the NFL draft over the last few years have steadily declined from like a peak somewhere in the 130s to 70 some odd, I think last year, maybe 80 some this year. And the reason is NIL, is you get to say you're not a surefire first round pick or second round pick or whatever the case is. You come back here for one more year. We're going to develop you, but you're also going to make $1 million. Like you should want to do this. And guys are buying into that. And they're also coming back to contenders. And so I do think that thing is intriguing. As you mentioned, the SEC 2 years in a row now not being a national championship game is really wild to see here. But the rival aspect is something that we need to talk about. And I want the standpoint to me is not necessarily that one rival won it, the other wins it the next year. It's one rival won it, then they won the regular season matchup, and then the team that lost won the championship. Because I'm on this thing right now. I had some of my Michigan people texting me with an asterisk in my inbox because they say it's not a real championship. And my response to them was, enjoy your win. It doesn't matter. Do what you want to do. The game doesn't. This is what we did when we decided to expand the playoff. I don't believe that, but I get to say it now because it doesn't matter.
But why
the ones the 4 wins that I had mattered. These don't matter anymore. This is what we did when we expanded the playoff. Not how I feel, but this is what we did.
Hold on. Ohio State made it in the 4-team era too after losing to Michigan.
Yeah, but they didn't win though. So it starts now.
Yeah, but still they made it in if you're saying it didn't matter. Hold on.
I guess my whole point is this would have been the second loss, and it was to a really bad team at the end of the year. In the 4-team era, that probably would have been disqualifying. That specific loss from this year would have been disqualifying. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter anymore.
So I'm sorry, are Michigan fans saying there should be an asterisk because Ohio State lost to Michigan?
Yeah, and I think because Ohio State fans kept trying to give them one last year because
that's what I was just going to say. I was like, can these fan bases just not acknowledge a national championship?
No, they refuse to. They refuse to. It's so fun. This is why we love the sport, though.
Funny. This is so funny. I love it so much.